He's whiny.
Yeah, like he sounds like such a bitch. Hey, listen, if you can make $1 billion once, you can make it again.
Yeah.
That's the first. That's
very much so the thing. And it's also like, how many people do you know that can bring billionaire level connections to bear in the creation of and it's not only that, but it's like so you're familiar with basically like the claim exchange thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't like looked into it deeply, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I will now summarize it for everyone who's listening. But when FTX blew up, everybody who had an account there now has a claim in the same way that everyone who blew up when Mt. Gox went under had a claim, right? And so like 9 or 10 years down the line, there's a court case that is giving people some amount of money back for their Mt. Gox claims, right? So their options there were to either do an over-the-counter sale, find some sort of weird guy who would be willing to buy their claim from them, or to hold it out for 10 years, right? And nobody in crypto wants to hold it out for 10 years because that's effectively 3 generations. Like you will have crypto grandkids in 10 years, right? This is like you're missing out on 2 cycles, which is like an effective, like you assume.
Yeah.
You just buy both bottoms and you're like, okay, that's an effective like 50x, right? So how did so the basic thing is the time value of money to these people is extremely high, and especially because they were crypto traders, right? Like these were people with money on FTX specifically. So like they didn't just lose money like in the bank, they lost money on a crypto trading exchange. So very, very high time preference people. And they know that in like 10 years, there's going to be some sort of a legal case that is going to pay them back for their claims on this, right? But they want it now if they can have it now. So what the Open Exchange guys have done is they've laid out a process by which you can go and they have debt firms who want to buy up these claims, right? Because it's basically like it's a pretty guaranteed return on investment that they're going to get some amount back. And they're willing to buy up these claims for like, I don't know, like 20, 30 cents on the dollar. And all of these people who have these claims, they basically written it off as zero.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go and tell them, hey, you can go and sell this, you can register this claim, tokenize it, fractionalize it if you really want beyond that, and then sell it on the open market, they're going to be like, holy, I'm taking that opportunity, right?
So then that's my question is that how do you get the accurate value for your account claim?
That is, that's the secret sauce.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because I'm like,
there's a lot of regulatory magic that they have to go through to get this done, because this is a process that exists in traditional finance, right? Like this, bankruptcy claims are something that are like traded freely and like bonded and sold as like assets and stuff like that. This process doesn't exist yet for crypto, and it's a pretty big like regulatory plate of spaghetti to like untangle. So they managed to figure it out. And it should be coming soon, actually. The claims marketplace should be opening up fairly soon. And that is going to be a massive... I mean, there are something like 20 million claimants, something like $20 billion of funds that have been locked up in the FTX blow-up. So, even if we assume that these debt firms are going to be buying that at like 25 cents on the dollar or something, that's like 5 billion that gets unlocked.
Yeah.
And this is a struggle with new exchanges, right? Is how do we attract users?
Yeah, being able to tell them that you got a way to get your money back is a good move. Absolutely.
Yeah, being able to and not only that, but like again, these are crypto users, so like they know crypto, they already are familiar with the ecosystem, and a lot of them probably are going to want to pull out their claims in crypto. Especially given the timing, right? Like we're basically saying, hey, do you remember that account that you had valued at like peak bear market or peak bull market? Would you like to reinvest it now at the bottom of the bear market?
Yeah, absolutely perfect for the time preference there.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm excited. I think it's gonna. And hey, listen, even if it's I can't even get my own, if they're selling it on the market, then you can buy other people's. So that's always good.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an interesting thing. I've been wondering if they're gonna like bond them in terms of like the certainty that, because like you have an account and there's a level of like how reliably can you prove ownership over this account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have the IDs? Do you have the address? Do you have like all of this stuff versus like, is it just some European guy that you paid to do KYC for you? Like stuff like that. I've been wondering how the whole process is going to work.
See, because for example, like especially with FBX.com, is like I absolutely paid some fucking European guy allegedly. So I don't know what it would work, how it would work anyway. But I would love to buy other people's fucking.
Well, I mean, I think for a lot of these people, what can go on is you just get in contact with the guy you KYC'd with and say, hey, I don't, I don't want to necessarily try and take this back or anything, but if you go and you register on Open Exchange and use my referral code, I will get some percentage back of whatever account value I had that was registered to you, right? Like you can make it a very win-win where maybe you're not going to get a ton of money, but like
that's more than zero.
I know a lot of people who had like $20 million accounts on FTX or something, and like it's still going to be nice to get like a percent or something of that on the referral if you. And then the other thing is like the guy who you had complete KYC for you, like he's probably going to be happy enough with you that he gives you a little gift.
That's true.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone is 80 times more greedy than I'm imagining. But like, if somebody said, "Hey, I borrowed your identity for a year, and now, as a consequence, the only way that I can get this money back is if I tell you to go get into this exchange, and I'm giving it to you," I would probably be like, "Oh, here's like half." Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you get someone who's like, I assume you use someone's address that you know decently well, so they probably won't snake you. And if you they're gonna be happy getting more than zero anyway. So I'm sure you can probably split it or get close.
Yeah, like that's really the great business idea with all of this is like and why I don't particularly feel bad about being involved at all is like it's unlocking money that is previously gone, right? It's not like I'm saying, oh, go pour your 401k into this. It's like register with us and we will give you tens of thousands of dollars that you lost back.
Yeah, no one can be mad about that. Shit.
No one can be fucking mad about that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And
it's like unambiguously like a moral good in the world.
True. Listen, and it at least adds a little bit of the safety net that traditional finance has that crypto does not. So I think it's a good idea. And
yeah, also it's something that the market already had this. It's a financial device and service that like needs to happen and get built out for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and the more shit like this exists, the more the actual super cycle can arrive. When you start to have people backing the funds, or at least providing insurance of some kind. Like I always find it weird that there was no this is not like insurance per se, but it's effectively what insurance is, right? Like it always found it weird that there's not like a crypto insurance that like has a decent like market cap that can give people back the money on the dollar for their accounts and stuff.
Well, I think the reason that there's no crypto insurance is because there's no market demand for it. Because the type of people who invest in crypto, if you say, okay, you have two options, brother, you can either one, invest 100% of your money into the market, or you can two, invest 85% of your money into the market and 15% into crypto insurance. They're going to say, fuck that, and then go 100%.
Yeah. That is a very good point. It absolutely, yeah, no, it's definitely for the normies more than it is for the average crypto person.
Yeah, like I mean, if I was worried about stuff like covering the drawback and downside and stuff like that, I would just invest in the S&P 500.
True. Yeah. No, I'm very all or nothing. I mean, I guess in practice I'm all or nothing because I'm investing in crypto constantly. So clearly I'm like 0 or 100. And, do 0 or 100 enough times, you get the 100. I'll say that. So I'm largely, I'm keeping my eye. We're giving the listeners here some alpha. We like that. We're bringing the alpha back to the market.
The other thing that I really like about it is like when a new exchange starts up, they do the affiliate programs, right?
Yes, they do that.
So you can run your bags up hard as fuck without doing anything because like everyone gets registered on new exchanges because they're not registered because they're new, right?
Yes, that's a good point. Actually, I always forget to do the affiliate thing. I'm
Right.
absolutely doing the affiliate thing this
Yeah,
time.
and I mean our goal here is we're gonna make this fun, right? Like we're courting like bodybuilders and we're gonna have like lifting competitions and we're gonna talk about like unlocking muscular liquidity and doing like financializing gains, stuff like this. Like it's going to be a fun time. And we want to make it effectively like a because the big problem that a bunch of crypto protocols had before was they came out and they went to a bunch of rich people or venture capitalists or big accounts and said like we're going to give you some like big amount of money to like shill this or promote this or whatever. And I don't like that very much. I like a very grassroots ground up type of marketing where
Get that community.
yeah, right. Where like you maybe develop it totally irrespective of price. Right. Like I don't, and that's why like I don't even mention like oh, go buy Flex or whatever. Like it's mostly like the community of this should all be out here to have fun in the same way that like Miladies don't give a fuck if it goes to zero, right? Like they're not going to like Miladies could literally go to a floor of 0.000002 tomorrow and they're not going to like leave the timeline. Like I'm not going to like take the picture off, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody cares about the money. And that's like the base level. And you especially need that in crypto, right? Because it can be known that like there is going to be a cyclical nature to this all. It's going to go up, but then it's also going to go down again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have the real community, I mean, all these, I mean, like even Binance, like Binance was fucking practically dead in 2019. It was almost fucking, not like dead because it had such a big rise in 2018, but like, there was very low liquidity on all those exchanges and all those fucking exchanges were like going under one after another. So, it's part of the cycle. That's why we're here. We're here for the volatility. So you got to get you got to get your core users who are never going to leave no matter what.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
I think another very fun goal too is getting and I think Charlie did this well actually with Remelia is saying like, okay, well, we want two things, right? We want normal people. And like obviously I'm not gonna say like Miladies are like known for being normal, but like they're not like the hyper technical weirdos that are like hiding in their closets all day. They at least like to go out and like party and like do stuff and talk to people, right? Like there's a higher number of women in the community than any other crypto community for a reason, and it's not independent of like vibe and energy and stuff like that. So you get stuff like that, and then you say, okay, well, we know crypto's going to die, so like what doesn't die? And you have some other physical side of it, right? So they're doing like the raves and the apparel.
Yes.
So like and software too. So there is like a you basically take the people who are normal and fun and bring them in, get them in on the highs and lows of all the crypto and whatnot, but also say like we've got other stuff too, and other stuff like doesn't cycle like this. Like the other stuff doesn't explode.
True. Yeah. No, you need the branching it, starting off with the hard asset and then branching into the soft. You got to have the culture. Without the culture, it's all fucking GGs. Anyway, like there's a reason why even FTX before it like disappeared, he was branching into like sports, and it's like every fucking sporting event was sponsored by FTX. Like he had a good idea at least for marketing. Like the fucking World Series had a bunch of FTX stuff. Yeah, he made the FTX Arena.
He had a bunch of really good ideas. I think he did it in. I think Sam's big problem was that he looked at marketing from the perspective of how do I throw money at this to make it happen, as opposed to like, can I grassroots this?
Yeah, but I wonder if FTX Arena still FTX Arena in Miami?
Yes.
He bought the naming rights for it is, even though it's gone under. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's so lit. He bought the naming rights for a decade or some shit. So I guess we're gonna have that for a while. That's so funny. Yeah, no, at first it was a lot more grassroots because it was a trader's because he was Alameda had like the highest trading or one of the highest trading accounts on BitMEX for a long time. So it started grassroots. He just like only advertised it at first to traders who were trading on BitMEX as an alternative. And then it went from there. Now then it became like bigger than everything else ever, but it started that way. It was very much a crypto Twitter type of endeavor.
It was crypto Twitter, but it wasn't like normal people.
Yeah, it wasn't like normal people. No.
I don't know. There's a sort of
Take me back.
and a lot of NFT projects failed in this way, but there's actually a lot of alpha in like actively and explicitly rejecting people who are just like annoying, weird, and repulsive.
True.
Because like I guess the prime example of this is look at like every one of these crypto like NFT projects that tried to market themselves by like they would pay some model, like some supermodel, like licensing rights for her pictures. And their whole thing would basically be like, yeah, we're selling like Fiverr art and our CEO is this like hot woman. And like, think about the type of people this attracted.
Fucking dweebs and weirdos.
Total freaks and losers. And like, these communities are 100% male, right? Like there's when you have
the Irene shit, Irene Dow and all those.
Yeah, like when you want to get like women involved in your projects, you really, really, really do not want to be coming out and like picking the hottest Russian supermodel, because it's like that. It's sort of like the Fox News effect, where like picking a bunch of like hot blonde bimbos just makes all of the other women hate you.
Yeah.
Like none of the women want to be in the community because there's this overwhelming sense of like you value women for hotness exclusively. And that's like it, right? Like you don't want them for like humor or merit or anything else. And there's just like a sense of deep unfairness that comes from all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's just not it might be great for appealing to like I don't know, some sort of like oil mogul or something like that. And so there might be some weird niche situation in which you might want to have your brand representative be like the hottest possible woman ever. But it really just doesn't seem to be a good front facing strategy. If you intend to have any women in your community.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very strange. Well, I didn't think it was a strange choice. It made sense given that crypto was all male, but it doesn't have a long.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it just, that's exactly it. There's no legs on it, because you get these women to come in and they get all the men, but then like the men aren't there for like anything concrete or lasting, right? Like they're not around because it's like fun or whatever. They're around for like the double stimulus of number go up and women have big breasts.
Listen, this is why I was always telling people, like Consensus last year, whenever I went to a project, like event, if there was hot girls there, I'm like, it's gone. We got to go. The alpha's gone. You got to go. You only go to the place where there's no bitches. There's no vibes. If for crypto specifically, if it's like a coin or something, you need to be in the most grungy of environments. Now, if you go to a place that's like grungy dudes and hot chicks at the same time, it's like, this is done. And if you or you got to go to a place with all the women, like, a Milady Rave or something. That was a smart vibe too. But those are only two options.
Do you remember that guy who tweeted out something like, oh, well, I guess the top is in because all of these CEOs are posting pictures in bikinis again?
Yeah, I do.
And
that was in tech, though.
And then like all
that was
of...
in the...
Huh?
That was in the tech sphere. That was actual like... There was that one girl, Madeline or something. She just got roasted in an article recently.
I just remember all of the female CEOs posting pictures of themselves in bikinis to say like, my company's doing fine. And then like a year later, someone went through all the quote tweets and was like, 93% of these companies are bankrupt now.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what the name of these companies are. One of them is Madeline. She was just getting roasted on the timeline recently for some article, and she hired like these diverse chicks, and they all were flaming her. But she's the one who started that whole trend. She's the first one to do the quote tweet in the bikini. I wish I could remember her name. Some of our friends know the inside scoop of her. I'll say that.
Is she bad?
She's like... She's kind of she's sus. Her company's sus. I'll say that. No one understands how she's making any money, and she's certainly it's the same thing. It's exactly what you'd expect, type of thing.
There's a backstop here. It appears there's some sort of a financial backstop that's not dependent on any sort of like income or outflow of cash, and it's just
exactly.
There.
It's just there. Like, why do you have money but there's no product effectively? Like. Oh yeah, and I know what. I know what our company sells. It's just that I can't shit on it because it's a theoretically a good cause, but I do know that it's impossible for it to work effectively. And they also do not have the legitimacy to be used in court. So their product effectively does not exist, if that makes sense. So it's a product that's used it's for a theoretical good reason, but you can't actually use it. It's not considered evidence in court anyway. So their product is null and void. So, and also there's no real scientific evidence to suggest that their product works to begin with.
So is this some sort of like rape detection kit or something?
It's a rape kit. So I don't want to like shit on it per se, but it's like their rape kit doesn't actually work. And also, or at least on paper doesn't work. And also furthermore, no court will accept it as evidence. So I don't understand how they have money, and nor does anyone else.
That is interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, something deeper, something else is happening here. Yeah, but hey, I mean, theoretically, it's a good idea, but it's effectively Theranos. It's a Theranos, but even worse because it's not as impressive as Theranos on paper was. When is she coming back? I need her. I want to try to invest in her next company. Bringing that chick to crypto. I need her a stat.
It is a little weird she hasn't played with crypto.
Yeah. Is she in prison?
We're talking about Elizabeth Holmes for everyone who's not.
Is Elizabeth Holmes in prison right now? Because if she's not in prison, I need her in crypto immediately.
I have no idea. I don't even remember what her thing was. I remember it involved like using substantially less blood than usual to do some sort of like genetic test or something like that, and then it was totally
all testing with a single drop of blood, and it was fake. She was doing like basically every type of test you can imagine with a single drop of blood. But she doesn't seem to be in prison. She got she got 11 years, so she's in prison for sure. She's absolutely in prison. She'll get out in 5 years, so I guess I'm sure for good behavior. So I'm sure she'll be around next cycle, maybe at the top of this one. She got the what's his face, the what's the Martin Shkreli deal?
Totally screwed over.
Yeah, I mean, like he was in for like 7 years or something like that, so she'll probably come back around then. We'll see her in the future, but I want her in crypto instant. I want an immediate crypto. I'm following whatever she does next. Oh, God. People know she can raise money. If there's anything she can do, she can raise money, it turns out.
Yeah, I never saw her pitch.
It was like kind of funny, too, because she's not like a good speaker. She's like pure autism. It's just that it looked really cool. Like she would like put people through her company, and it was like all for show, like it was North Korea. It was like she had like a very like, she would like walk them through like labs doing cool shit and just like do the North Korea treatment. And everyone's like, oh, everything looks good on paper. We'll give you money. That kind of thing. Some nice PowerPoints, people in hazmat suits, that kind of thing. And also biotech at the time, if you remember, was like everyone was pumping biotech stocks. There still are, but like people were like every company, even when I was in college, like in 2012, like the finance thing I was working for was doing biotech shit because it just was like asymmetric returns off nothing. If their trial went well, then they would fucking pump like 50% overnight. So I think that was part of it too. All the VCs had infinite money, and she was doing biotech. And if even half of her claims were true, they would make outlandish money. So,
but then just like none of them were true at all.
Yeah, zero were true whatsoever. And she like literally didn't even have any she had nothing underneath it. So, and that's why she got fucked. That sounds like a marketing genius to me, though.
I've heard so many people and there's the meme about like Elizabeth Holmes is so like based and whatever, and like I mean, a lot of this stuff really does just sort of like boggle my mind with this is something that's always been like insanely stupid to me is.
Wait, Lucas, you're too loud. I can't hear. You're blowing my eardrums out.
Okay, my bad.
There you go.
Like a lot of this stuff to me is just like, to make a successful scam and to make a successful company, like the scam takes like 80%, 85% of the effort of making the successful company. So like if you're going to the whole effort of, because in order to bullshit successfully enough that you can bullshit like an entire industry, you have to essentially learn how to like actually make the fucking product. So like,
yes.
So like why, like it's just an extremely stupid thing to go and pitch like literal vaporware to me, unless it's something that you like already 100% know how to make for some reason. And like, I don't know, it's just, like it's not based to me to not add any value to anything. Like you should actually be trying to build something out. You should actually want this to succeed. You should actually like,
Well, the question becomes, I think a lot of times it's not that they're trying to make the scam, it's that they are incompetent outside of talking. So they're trying to make the thing that they're saying, but it's either A, infeasible, or B, they just can't do it. And so they just keep.
There's no shortage of technical autistic people, I will say. There is no shortage of them. So if people want to say, oh, I just couldn't find my technical autist, then, I don't know, man. I don't know if I really buy it. I don't really, yeah.
Yeah, I do. It is true, though. I think it's, for the case of Theranos, she just is like low-key a psychopath. So she's just doing her own thing. So good, more power to her. But for a lot of the people, it's just like, yeah, just find the right person. There's a million psychos in there doing super complex projects, making $0. So
right, there's literally like, and I mean, I think this is a big part of like why like guerrilla marketing effects and stuff like this largely succeed, is because there are so many people who have like a massive well of talent that is just radiating off in like a totally unfocused way. And if you can have someone, Charlie is another guy who does this really well. He comes in and he focuses it like a laser beam towards like a specific thing. And in this way, you can effectively generate like unlimited free energy, because you have you like it's all there, it's all existing, radiating out all of this value that's just totally not captured. And as soon as you direct it towards like some financialized means, you get a lot of good.
Yeah, I need that skill. I need to fucking radiate some shit. Trying to radiate some.
No. That's the actual skill, is being the radiant focuser, being the magnifying glass guy.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to make the mirrors, the fucking labyrinth of mirrors, just making the beam to the bag, like a fucking like Indiana Jones fucking temple.
Yep.
With when the sun rises to the right thing. I'm trying to do that right now, because I don't know how well I'm doing. I mean, I just started, so I'm not going to talk about it yet, because then I'll just fucking not do it. But I just did that new Substack article about Web3 gaming, and I'm just like, it doesn't need to be as complicated as people are making it. I don't understand why. Like, I see all these projects. I've worked for a couple of GameFi companies now too, and I just keep seeing it. I'm just like, you could do this. Like, I was talking. I used Decentraland as an example. Like, it's just such a incorrect reading of the space and like how a game would integrate with this. There's just so many, just like, metaverse was the word that everyone was using, right? Facebook doesn't even push their metaverse thing anymore, by the way.
Aren't they like totally debranding from all like meta related nonsense?
Yeah, and also it's so annoying because they that word was like, that was the word, and now they've ruined it. But they now you can't even say metaverse without it being a meme. But I'm like, metaverse is an emergent property, right? You take a bunch of different systems, you connect them, and it creates an emergent phenomenon, which is the metaverse. It's the interoperability, right? It's not you develop a top-down metaverse. That doesn't work. But then I'm just like, for crypto gaming, it's like, why is there not even one? Like, we almost got one with DeFi Kingdoms. We almost got one with, that's about it, right? It doesn't need to be complicated. You just make a game, and then you can integrate basic functionality, and it would build. Like, for example, like, why is Parallel not the biggest game? Everyone's fucking hype about Parallel. They have the Prime coin. Does anyone play it? No, because the way that they did it was like stupid. Like, is there even like a means to play Parallel like online?
I have no idea.
Exactly. This is the thing. They have the coolest looking cards, and they have a million people who are like, I want to play this game. It's a tabletop game with the augmented reality, but then, and also, like, the cards keep dropping packs, but like, where's the online portal where you can just go, here's a fucking pack, and you play online, and here are the rules, and you can play this really low functionality online portal between other players. That's how you build a game. But they don't have a game. They have cards, right? This is the case with every single crypto game project. It's like, everyone wants all the VCs are investing in GameFi, and every company that makes a game doesn't make a game. They make a fucking top-down thing. They make a coin. It's like, just make a fucking game. The games aren't even that hard. You can make a game by yourself. Like, I've seen games that make like, I don't know. I just feel like you can just make a legit game. Like I feel like and so now I'm trying to at least not storyboard, like make a skeleton version and get the group chats going, because I'm like, I don't see why this is hard. It doesn't have to be hard. There's several games that are like massive successes right now that were made by like 2 people.
I think what's basically going to happen is there's going to be like an indie dev scene where like 2 extremely autistic people create like an NFT project and they sell them for like $1 a mint, and they wind up just like powerhousing it, and like it becomes like a cult classic. And in like 3 years,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to like. That's my current side autism. I'm trying to find those people and get that going, because you don't need it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be, now there's so many tools. Like you can get Unity on your computer. It's easy. It runs really fast. Like making a game is so easy now, and people want to throw money at whatever exists because everything sucks. Remember that coin Cope? That was the thing with Cope that was like pumping at the very beginning of the cycle. That was supposed to be like a game platform for Solana that never went anywhere. People will throw money at the first gaming. That's why everyone was in DeFi Kingdoms. That's why everyone was liking Atlas. That's why people like Loot, because Loot was saying they're going to be a game. Or like, yeah, no one ever just does it. Which I'm like, clearly there's a asymmetry here that can be taken advantage of.
But, yeah, or I don't know. I mean, what's the meme? Is just none of these crypto games are ever developed for the purpose of being a game. They're just developed to try and pump a token.
Exactly. So you just got to make a game. So I've been.
Well, I guess the problem becomes like, what is the use case for blockchain in gaming, right? Like, what does blockchain allow you to do that traditional games do not? And that's where things start getting like trickier, because people don't have a great way of answering that question.
Well, that's what I just did on my Substack. I actually genuinely think there's at least 5 legit. There's 5 current. Well, there's probably more, but there's 5 immediately obvious gaming genres that exist right now that I think are more suited to crypto than they are to the standard gaming genre. There's deck builder games. I think those are clearly crypto native. I think there's roguelites. I think those are also clearly easy to iterate on crypto, right? You just take a fucking it's like there's like what's the word? There's procedural levels. There's permadeath. There's permanent items that carry over to the next one. You can fucking iterate on that infinitely in crypto. I think that's very straightforward. There's several. I did like, there's like EVE Online type of things. They're trying to do that with Star Atlas. There's a bunch of shit that's like that like existed in Web2 gaming, and they make like full markets. Like people in EVE are spending $35,000 on a fucking galactic cruiser type of thing.
Dude, right? my ex had I think I've mentioned this before actually, but my ex had a grandma who was very wealthy because her husband founded some large aeronautical something or other. And just I mean, it was like 9-figure-ish net worth. And her day would consist of playing like Clash of Clans and other fucking iPad games. And she literally would run up like $47,000 a day bills in these games.
Yeah.
It was it was the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life. I was just like, there has to be a like, I was almost like, holy fuck, like I'll hire a 16-year-old who's better at this game than you are to play for you for the measly price of $22,000 a day.
Bro, there's so many fucking, how many people in crypto started off selling shit on RuneScape? Like Bob Laxative, that's how he got into crypto. He used to glitch items in RuneScape and sell it to people with real money. And it's like, why are there not like, and how many stories have people heard of like people farming coin like items?
Everyone who made like millions and millions merching on RuneScape seems to have done really well. I actually somehow, despite like the frequent accusations of the Lucas Judaism, I never had money on RuneScape. I was literally always poor. I was always so poor on RuneScape.
Yeah, I just like, these are all, yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously things that make it different than like those games, right? Because like, you don't have to worry about the ways, like let's say if you settled that RuneScape shit in like a coin, then that coin went to 0. like that ruins the market, right? So that settles in fiat, so that changes shit. But like, these are all very clear use cases for the gaming, and it's like, but no one tries to make the game first. Very few people do. I can't say no one. People are trying to make it. But I feel like, my friends who will make like a Shattered Aeon or like shout out to Blackout. He made Shattered Aeon, and like, obviously he made it at the end of the market, so like it was hard, but that he made a game and tried to add NFT properties to it. So that's make a game. That's the thing. Make a game first. Is the moral of the story. And it's never been easier to make a proper game. So I'm trying to collect autists right now. We'll see what's up. We'll see if it ends up happening. I might have just fucking fucked myself with my...
It's always dangerous to tell everyone what you're thinking about doing.
Yeah, it is always dangerous. So hopefully that didn't just me myself. But even if I don't do it, one of my homies do. One of these people listening, shout out to you guys. You're the real MVPs. Maybe one of you do it. We'll see. Just throw me a little bit of credit. Just like just a finder's fee or something. Thanks, Verz and Lucas Podcast for the impetus to start.
My dad has walked in.
Kickback. Hello.
When would work?
How much do we have here? What are we at for the time?
We can stop now. We have almost an hour and 45 minutes. We can pump this out.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we have enough. Actually, when would you want to go? Does 20 minutes sound good?
Oh, for me? I mean, yeah, we can do another 20 minutes and call it an event.
Okay. I'll try and keep going for another 15 or so minutes and then toss on some clothes and hop everything together and be good then.
I mean, to be honest, we can like literally stop here. We have like more than enough for an episode.
No, I think we should keep going for 15 minutes. And then if it sucks, then we can just get rid of it. But
fair enough. Yeah.
So I just opened another 1000x long or 1000x short on Rollbit. Oh, damn. Yeah. We are printing. Holy shit.
Wait, what? On Rollbit?
Yeah.
I need to get on Rollbit. That's
just closed for a profit of 151%.
Hell yeah. Is Rollbit, what is Rollbit on? What is the
Rollbit is on God, dude, this is so funny. I literally am exactly back at the initial $50 that I put in. I have ridden this up like 6x. I have ridden it down. God, this is so funny.
Oh, you're gonna fucking make me FOMO into Rollbit.
Okay, here's the thing, man. I
should fucking gamble on March Madness. That's what I want.
I am extremely bad at I'm extremely bad at charting, and I realized that I asked David Holt basically like, what should I be doing to like get more exposure, and he was like, so the thing with like that is you kind of just need you need to see the patterns, you need to see how it all plays out, and you need to get exposure to the stuff.
Yeah,
and there's no substitute for that, and so like. He's like, I would never recommend anyone trade the 1 minute charts, but like if you want to just watch them, then you're gonna see the same patterns play out, right? And it's like, it obviously is harder to trade them because of like fees and all of this stuff, but like you can go and you can sort of like gravity train yourself on the patterns. And I was like, okay, but like then I tried looking at the 1 minute charts for a while, and I can't really I don't learn super well from having zero involvement in it. So
you will never trade the same as you do when you have money in. So I think you always have to either like when people used to do test nets. I remember I used to on like all the exchanges used to have a test net, and I would get fucking massive accounts on those, but those aren't the same as if you have money in. You have to you make decisions completely differently. So you do have to, I think, play it. But I always feel like I was always under the impression you send $100 over, and then you fucking run the $100 up and make an account. I never sent over like a lot of money because then you just fucking blow it.
Well, the other thing is that Rollbit makes it really easy to like. I'm not gonna say never go to zero, but like.
Oh, they give you the rebates, don't they?
Well, they do also do some weird stuff with that. I haven't even looked at like what the rewards look like, but I mean like because you know how like leverage gets really. Like isolating your position gets really weird on an exchange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like if you have $1 million and you only want to risk like 10,000 or something like that.
Yeah, you just isolate the leverage. Yeah.
Yeah. Rollbit does that for you because it says how much do you want to bet, and then you basically
it doesn't let you do cross,
and then you bet on directionality.
I'm too used to cross leverage now. I don't even know if I can go back because cross leverage gives you but then you lose everything if you fuck up.
Yeah,
which is the meme,
right? And that's the thing is like, so when I ran it down to 20, I had the ability to just like start again, but more conservatively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just when you really, that's actually the thing with like the mathematical thing with all this is like you're not supposed to risk more than us like 5 to 10%.
David basically said like I never risk more than like 1% per trade, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. You basically, if you lower the amount of like actual risk, then it's a numbers game after that, because in reality, you're trying to do asymmetric bets off of low risk, and lowering the amount of risk is what wins. It's never actually your profit, because you don't lose because you made bad trade. You don't win because you made good trades. Only you win when you make great trades, and then you don't lose your bad trades. The less you lose when you fuck up, the better you'll do.
Everybody seems to have their own strategy, and I'm trying to figure out what mine is going to look like. But it seems to be that what David likes to do is enter a lot of positions and basically cut your losses soon and let your wins run.
Yeah,
and that's his thing. Is I think he said like that actually, like directionally, like 70% of the time he's like wrong. But he winds up being very profitable still, because the ones that aren't wrong run for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that, but I've never been a fan of the have a million positions open. I'm more of a have like 5 max and then cut your losses early and then add on to the good one. Because you're letting your winners run is the correct answer, because typically speaking, they tend to run longer, especially in crypto. They just have like long whatever, like positive or negative moves. But I don't think that, I've always found that if you open too many positions, you just get fucked. But like, some people are better at that than others. I can only focus on like 5 max.
He likes scaling in positions and then just cutting everything on the outside.
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense.
So I think
that's accurate.
He goes and he will if he says, oh, this looks like we might be the start of a like a macro downtrend, I'm going to short at like 0.2x. And then if he's like, yep, it looks like we're getting a little confirmation, I'll add another 0.2x to the short here. And so he showed me like one of his positions, and he like scaled into it at a fairly regular basis over the course of like 2 weeks. And then when he realized, okay, it turned around, I exited all positions here.
That's smart. I think a lot of the difference is people's time frame when they trade. I'm more of I can't do a trade into it for weeks. I don't think on that scale. I think more of like day to like within a week. For me, I have like a time frame of when I'll cut it, unless it's like I'm really winning. Like for example, like when I got in the BTC long and like at the end of the bear market, I was in that position for like a month and a half or 2 months, right? But that's just like I've really found something. I was like, this is going to keep going up. However, typically it's like if it doesn't do what I think it's going to do within like a few days, I'm cutting it. And with leverage, I rarely have it open a full week. It's like, this is good how it's going to behave for the next 3 days or 4 days. And typically I do better when I don't try to make something happen that's not happening fast enough. Because if it's not happening fast enough, then I'm wrong in my head. That makes sense. It can't happen. It's not going to happen immediately, but it has to happen within like 48 hours. Otherwise, I'm probably wrong. But
I don't think too much about the time of things.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone, I don't like falling. First of all, I don't like sleeping through a position. I don't like having leverage positions open through my sleep. If I'm going to sleep, if it's going to be a position that like I'm going to sleep through, then I'm probably doing it in a spot anyway. But this is just my own personal behavior. So like other people are different. Other people are like, if I'm going to be in a position, I'm going to be in it for a month. I just can't think. It doesn't work for me. I've found.
This is the other thing that like, because I wanted to go and just ask everyone like, how do you trade? And like, you kind of expect that there's going to be like some sort of universalized answer. And there just isn't. Like everybody literally has, they'll all talk about like, oh, the trading system. And you're like, what the fuck is a trading system? And it's basically, as far as I can tell, a trading system is a way to align your personal neuroticisms and like mental quirks with the market in such a way that like you don't get like fucked by your own emotionality.
Yes, that is actually, yeah. That's what you're trading against yourself more than you're trading against the market, because you're playing with your money, right? So you're going to start doing shit that's like emotional shit with the position. So the question is like, how is it that if you're the kind of person who's like feels better if it's a week long position, good. Me, I can't sleep through every time I fall asleep, I feel like my position goes against me, and it typically does, and then I fuck up. So it's like I know that I need to close it before I go to bed. I know that if it doesn't work within a certain time frame, I have to close it because of the way my intuition on the matter works. Whereas some people play on the fucking 1 minute chart and they scalp. I could never do that. I'll just chop up my entire account. So it kind of you're playing against your personal thing. Oh, for example, like I know that like with NFTs, the way I was buying NFTs was if I thought I hate this, I'm buying it because the way my taste is, I know that things that the average person will like, I just fucking find disgusting and I don't want it. But if I'm like so viscerally like I'm like fuck this project, that means that it's probably going to blow up, right? So that's kind of I had to trade against my personal tastes.
That's funny.
NFTs and it worked. As a shout out to Shower for that one because Shower was like because Shower hates everything that people like. He has super hipster taste on everything. So yeah, but it worked out. That's how it worked. That's all the best projects I got. That's how I got into loot. That's how I got into.
I could never do that because I would look at everything and I would say I hate like all of this shit.
Yeah, for me, it's either if I love it, it's probably something that's cool, but it won't do really well. Unless I got lucky, like with Milady, I liked it, but it's also my homies, right? So that's why I got into it. But then it's like. Oh, I liked it because it didn't look like anything else, and that's my taste. That's like you have to think about your taste, right? So like my music taste is like metal. It's like weird shit that people don't usually listen to. So I like stuff that's weird, but that doesn't mean that other people will. And as I learned in life, especially any markets, like I'm looking at shit that other people aren't typically, which helps me in certain cases, right? Like I'm typically ahead of the curve on a lot of things, but it doesn't help you when you're trying to make money, right? Because that doesn't always, you need a little bit more of like a public opinion on your side. So, especially in NFTs when it's all fucking about opinion of the public. So, your trading system is how to stop yourself from making you lose money.
Yeah. And like everybody has like a different time preference. Everyone has a different like willingness to scale in or out of things or do any of this. And like I'm realizing now I am insanely good at 500x leverage scalps on the 1 minute chart, which is like
that's a good talent to have. I've seen people.
This is literally the most Jewish trading aptitude ever. Is like high time frame scalps, bro.
My aptitude is swing is the 3-day range, that the 1 to 5 day range trade. I am very good at that. That is my bread and butter. And when I try to do anything else, I get fucking demolished. That is my bread and butter for sure. I'll catch the Doge pump. I'll catch the fucking this, that, and the other thing. I can see very clearly within a 5-day window. After that, my intuition goes to dog shit.
What are we doing now? You need to use your seeing very clearly where we're going now to tell me what the fuck Bitcoin is doing.
Oh, what Bitcoin's doing? Oh, I don't even look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I have a macro belief that it's going to continue to creep up for the next couple of years. Bitcoin, though, because of how algo it is, I can't look at the price action. I just look at it like daily because it's so algo behaviorally. What I'm doing now, I like me some GMX now that people have money off Arbitrum. I like me some, and then we were talking about Flex all day. We're Flex Maxis now. We out here. Oh, and Solana. I think Solana's coming back. I think now is the time to buy Solana. So I'm scaling into Solana position. Absolutely, I'll be.
Why do we think now is the time to buy Solana?
Because it's not going to go further down than $20 again. It's not like it's going to go back to $8. So I'm going to dollar cost average into Solana for the next 6 months, and then when it's $500 or $1,000 in 2 years, I'll be really, really happy.
We think Solana is going to 500.
Solana. So I've noticed from Bitcoin to Ethereum and Ethereum to everything basically follows the same price macro trend and like the same like price numbers and shit like that. So like the reason I sold Solana at like 250 or whatever is because I was thinking about how Ethereum went from like $14 to like 350 or whatever. So I was like, okay. And or like the Ethereum action mimics the Bitcoin action. because it's the same market participants effectively. So Solana went from 0 to 250 down to like $8, which is just like Ethereum did in 2018. It went, you know what I mean? So it's like I imagine it's going to do roughly the same thing, and the next milestone is that near 1,000. You know, once the market starts pumping, Solana has full infrastructure. It has a lot of projects. It has a foundation that's still giving out grants. It's not like it didn't go anywhere. It's actually better now than it has been ever. People are still building on Solana. It's not gonna. It's a legitimate L1.
My biggest issue with Solana is just that it needs a weird fucking wallet. I was showing my mom how to like move around Solana funds yesterday, and it was just like,
I hate the wallets.
Oh, and it's just like, why can we not use MetaMask? Like, I know there's a reason we cannot use MetaMask, but like,
you can use MetaMask now.
Oh, you can?
Oh, well, I know you can use it on Brave. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you can use straight up MetaMask now though for it. I know Brave has Solana wallets integrated into it now though.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so they're gonna, now that they're gonna probably add it to MetaMask, I'm sure. But Brave has it now, and I'm like, oh wow, lit. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not going anywhere. So I think Solana is gonna blow up this next cycle. I think the fundamentals are better than they ever have been. There's more users. I am bullish. Even if I don't like it per se. Like, I don't like using it really, but I do know that people will continue to use it, and I'm fairly confident it'll push well past its old peak. And I will literally fucking jump off a building in Minecraft if it goes crazy and I don't have my position in it when I know this already. So even if I'll ride it to fucking 0. I can't let my intuition right now. I can't do it again.
I remember you were very big on Solana when we were experiencing that like $250 Solana meme.
Oh yeah, Solana made me so much money. I'm very grateful to Solana, but mostly because I can just kind of Bankman was shilling it, so I was like, I've never seen in my entire life someone go, sell me all your Solana you want at $3. I remember being in the group chats during that, and my entire fucking Telegram was going nuts. Like, okay, we're Solana maxis now. Sam Bankman is a fucking
so like, did everyone just like instantly buy then?
At least in our Telegram, yeah, that was because everyone had heard of it, but we were like, this looks like vaporware. But when he did that, I remember the entire Telegram went nuts. They're like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, bet. Because Sam had just bought Sushi. Because Sushi went on, I don't know if you remember this. They were doing food coins. Sushi went to 0. I think that Sushi Swap now, that went to fucking 0 because it was one of those like farm tokens of all the food varieties.
Oh.
That one went to 0, and Sam bought up most of it to keep it from going to literal 0. And then like they started building on top of it. It's not owned by Sam, but it was like he kind of like helped it get off the ground.
Didn't Daniel Sesta buy that?
Yeah, but it was him, and like also Sam bought a lot of it off the bottom, and then like Danielle was the one who was like doing it and shit.
Okay.
Like, Sam didn't build any of it, but like he like stopped it from going to 0 effectively. And so once it started to people started to building on it, now it became like a real project, and now Sushi Swap and yada yada yada, right? But it was vaporware for forever. And so once because Sam was like public about buying it, and also Sam had been like kind of getting more popularity on Twitter from that point when he said like, I'll buy all the Solana you offer you right now. The Telegram was like, okay, it got the Bankman cosign. Yeah. So that's kind of what everyone got bullish on it for them. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think, and again, I've since in the bear market, I was building on Solana. I mean, I was working for a company building on Solana, and they got fucked because of FTX collapsing. But it's not like the protocol stopped being good. If anything, like they made a ton of improvements.
Yeah, that was. I mean, again, this goes back to the convict coin thesis here, right? Is any coin that is getting fudded down because of their association with these, I don't want to say wrongfully loathed billionaires, because there's definitely some reasonable reasons to hate Sam, but like, love him or hate him, I don't think we can doubt the fact that he was good about picking ecosystems and building them out, and
exactly
all of these things.
Yes, so that is my shill of the week. I am personally DCAing into that, and you will see me fucking doing a little happy dance if it hits $1,000 in a year or so. I assure you, I'll be twerking on the.
I was going with Luna also. I hadn't started DCAing, but I was 100% going to start buying Luna 2 in like 3 or 4 months.
Oh, Luna 2?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah, I forgot about Luna 2.
Because my thought basically was like Do Kwon is going to integrate this across all of the Cosmos IBC ecosystem, and he's going to take that over. And I guess now that he's in jail, it probably won't happen. But like that had a massive upside, right? Because it had that same FUD multiplier where everyone was like, "Fuck Do Kwon, he fucked us all, he blew it up," and they were not wanting to buy it because of that.
Yeah.
Whereas I have, and this might be the problem too, is, everyone is saying, I'm not going to buy that because he's scammed me once and he'll go away again. Or like maybe just him being bad carries with it all these negative connotations. Maybe he's going to go get arrested, something like that. And, it did come true here. That's the thing is all of these people, they are risky assets, right? They're risky maybe in the sense that they're going to scam you, maybe in the sense that they're going to get arrested at an international airport. Like all of this can happen for sure. But I see it as, a good reward for the upside.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, listen, you got to do the asynchronous bet when you see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, it appears that I have to go to the steakhouse now. Did you notice that the rate of my talking increased like a lot in the last or just the rate of my like speaking? I suddenly stood up and now I'm feeling very I was trying to lie down on my bed and do all this, and I think I just lulled myself into this lethargic.
You're not that kind of person. When we did the IRL recording, you did it standing up.
Yeah, I've got to be on my feet doing this. All of this other sloth shit just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Enjoy the steak.
Absolutely.
I'll catch you later.
I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace.
When he gets older, he won't sound like this anymore, right?